Hi there. Today on Typical Books, we're going to be talking about all of the books I read in 2022. I know that this video is very late in coming, and 2022 ranked videos, everyone seemed to be doing them the first week of 2023, and I had the video shot in January, and part of me wanted to just release that because I've been extremely busy. Obviously, it's taken me to February to record the wraparound and reaction. My gosh. But yeah, I did read quite a few books in 2022, but not 52 of them. That was my goal on Goodreads. I know a lot of people do hold themselves to that. A lot of people blast past that. There's been a lot of people who I've actually commented on their Goodreads because I'm proud of them for reading so many books, but I did not make my goal at all. And foolishly, for 2023, my goal is still fairly lofty. I read 32 books thereabouts. There's probably other books not in the running, but yeah, 32 books is pretty good. It's not my book a week, but it's pretty good. Instead of using normal tier ranking, this looks like the video I made last year. If you're interested in ranking videos and just really like watching colored blocks float around a screen in the form of book covers, then you can check out my 2021 ranked video. But yeah, here we are with the 2022 ranking of all the horror books I read last year. Okay, all of the books that I read last year, I believe there are 32 of them, so I did not make that goal, as we well know. But these are the books in the big mess, and we'll come back to this. For now, I'm going to clear the screen, and in no specific order, we're going to put the books in one by one. So starting with Slewfoot, which is probably going to be one of my top reads. I don't know, we'll find out. You know, Slewfoot would have been higher up had it not been so kind of one note and quiet. I can't give it extra points because I love the art. I can't give it extra points because I actually killed a demon called Brom in the latest Diablo game, and the whole Diablo Brom thing is friggin' awesome to me. I can't just give this book extra points because Brom is amazing. So yeah, it's here though. Hello. Fiction. I don't know what categories we're going to end up with here. Oh, yeah. You will notice that I don't go into big detail with all of these books. Most of them I've talked about on the show elsewhere and otherwise. Oh yeah, Lake of the Dead. Oh, I want to just plop that right up at the top right now. I really enjoyed that. Spontaneous Human Combustion. Okay. We've got some single author collections. Oh yeah, that was fun. Chad Lutsky books. Ooh, Old Layman. This pile's getting really messy, isn't it? Oh, Eddie Generous book. Yeah, what I need in my life is more Eddie Generous. Wow, there's so much weirdness here. Speaking of books that I talk about on the show, here's some that I don't talk about on the show. I don't typically talk about the magazines. I mentioned that I pick up a magazine here and there, but I don't talk about reading them. I don't talk about the ones that I do for paid or ghost written reviews. And I don't talk about books that I reread sometimes. I don't talk about nonfiction books all of the time. I don't talk about books that I read for work and things like that. So yeah, there is reading that goes on behind the scenes, but not a lot. So don't let me lead you to believe that I'm reading like 10 to 20 other books a year. It's maybe about 5 to 10. But I did really enjoy it. Oh, more Layman. I didn't read enough Layman. That's part of my problem with... Where did that book go? It's hiding. Hiding. Maybe if I could do this. Oh, there it is. No, okay. What's this book? There we go. Oh, it ended up in the right place. These are going to start getting hidden because I've got such a mess here. Oh, more Eddie Generous. It's like I forget what I read. Oh, I really enjoyed that too. House of Footsteps. One that no one seems to be talking about. So I read, obviously, a lot of single author things. Not as much true crime and stuff like that I did last year. Oh, look at them all. Look at them all. Oh, wow, dog meat. Priscilla Bettis. wonderful stuff, and I'm excited for more of that. Oh my. We're almost through it all here. And like this pile is just growing. I read a lot of single author stuff this year, didn't I? Oh, it's hiding. Look at this. What is this? Oh, 2 titles that I've remembered that I read over the course of the year that I haven't added in here. But you know, it's of no real consequence. They were horror books. They might have been rereads, but there were a few like novellas and things that I forgot. So yeah, maybe if I can remember them, I'll put them in on text. But yeah, I'm sure there's maybe more than 2 that I forgot. But look at this. Very few collections. What is wrong with me? I love short stories, like as far as anthologies. And these are the only 3 single author short story collections that I read. Like, wow. Wow. Well, I will say I really did enjoy that, so I'm going to put it up there. I also enjoyed this quite a lot, but I don't know if it's top 10 material. So we've got some nonfiction over here. I really did enjoy Splatterpunk Forever, but I don't know if it's top 10 material. There is not enough horror science fiction, and video games seem to be going this way. I'm watching my husband play Dead Space again right now. It's redo, and it's gorgeous, and I just love that world. I love the world of Alien. I love the world of The Abyss even. I love a lot of that horror sci-fi in film. There's not enough of it in books that is marketed properly. Wanting to put it up there. I'm gonna be swapping some of these out for sure. I just know I'm going to be, because there's going to be too many of them. I really like this book. This was a reread, so I mean, it doesn't deserve to be up there, does it? Does it? I'm trying to put this behind something. Let's see. I'm trying to put it down lower behind things. There should be a key command for that, shouldn't there? There we go. I think it's still hiding something else. There we go. There, something like that. I'm getting finicky and pickety, aren't I? I did enjoy this, but not like to the point that I want to put it up the top. Oh, I had fun with that. Oh, look at this. I'm just making a mess here, aren't I? Only Psychos was really fun. Top 10 stuff though. Hetty was, oh my god, too many books. Too many books. I didn't enjoy Such Pretty Smile as much as I wanted to, you know what I mean? Slewfoot is close. I'm gonna just put it up there to start with, and I'll sort those out. I feel weird about putting Richard Lehman up there too, because like quite literally. I like the Hacienda a lot. It's just not top 10 material. So let's start changing some of this out. Those stay. Wuthering Heights, it took me a lot. Actually, I as much as I liked it, it took me a lot. Tony Evans. So what have we got here? It's a lot of single author stuff, one nonfiction thing, no anthologies, no collections. That's weird, isn't it? So, oh, I love Dog Meat. That was just such a fun experience reading it too. I tried switching away from Goodreads, but they've made some changes in the way that it looks. It doesn't look so 1994 anymore, and it looks better. It looks cleaner. There's a site that most people use called Storygraph, and I found Storygraph was a little more toxic. You may think the opposite, because they do have so many tools to avoid what other people might think of as toxic literature, but in turn I find that is filtering out a lot of literature from people and allowing people a little more of soapboxes to stand on and deride books and punch down on them. So Storygraph just wasn't for me. And maybe I'm missing something, but that's the way that I saw Storygraph being used. I like the looks of Storygraph though, so now that Goodreads looks better, I'm sticking around. House of Footsteps I loved. No Time for Classics. Providence After Dark. That was a long-term read. It actually took me 2 years to read that. Lydia Lynch Paradoxia. Absolutely enjoyed. When Things Get Dark, I liked. I don't know, there were some stories I just didn't. Now, Splatterpunk Forever, every story in there was gold. Women in Trouble, every story gold again, right? Quite seriously. Spontaneous Human Combustion, I liked it as a collection. It just, it was quiet. It was, I don't know, not what I expected. I didn't mind it. I got through it. Ramsey Campbell, again, not what I expected. Festival was great. That was really fun. I'm tempted to put it up here, but I don't know. It didn't, it's not gonna stick with me the way that those other books are going to. Halloween Kills, that movie, I don't know. I liked it. I liked Tim's take on it as well. Really good novelist for writing your screenplays. The Butcher, too quiet for me. A good story. A large chunk of it could have been cut out. The Psycho, that was a reread. Such a Pretty Smile, it was okay. I don't know. Richard Lehman, like I said, I love Richard Lehman so much. He's my top 10 horror author of all time, but not in a top 10 list of the year. They're rereads as it is. So yeah, the Eddie Generous stuff, I absolutely love Eddie Generous. I really do. The Only Psychos was so fun. What a two B movies like that. Cannibal Creator and Only Psychos. Oh, I guess they're not letting me do it. Okay. Well, Only Psychos and Cannibal Creator were my B schlock horror type reads of the year. Absolutely enjoyable. So we've got Sundial by Katrina Ward, Dogmeat by Priscilla Bettis, Slewfoot by Brom, Mandy. Mandy was so fun by Stephanie Sparks. I didn't think of that ending up in my top 10. Hunted by Darcy Coates and another Darcy Coates from Below. I'm just going to put them side by side, but I don't know how I'm going to rank these. Lake of the Dead was a re-release from Valancourt. I'm running out of room here. And Last House on Needless Street by Katrina Ward. I'm surprised. I've got 2 different authors that have made it up here in the top 10 of the year. So we've got Katrina Ward with 2 different books and 2 different books from Darcy Coates. Wow, that's fantastic. Chuck Palahniuk's book, Consider This, absolutely enjoyable. And Old Country by Matt Query and Harrison Query. That was a sleeper hit of the summer. I loved it so very much. So we're going to it's about the middle of a top 10. Chuck goes just before that, I'd say. So how did I enjoy these, considering that these would be my middle ones? You can be the middle one. So of all these, I want to say From Below by Darcy Coates really spoke to me. I had a lot of fun with that. Slewfoot, it's top 10, but it's not top of the top 10. Last House on Needless Street is right up there, as is Lake of the Dead. So we're running out of room. Did I like Sundial, Dogmeat, Mandy, or Hunted more than these books? And actually, I will say I enjoyed Hunted quite a lot. I enjoyed Hunted more than Old Country. But did I enjoy anything better than Slewfoot? Yes, I did. I enjoyed Old Country better than Slewfoot. Quite a lot. But did I enjoy Mandy better than Old Country? I'd say so. Did I like Sundial more than all of these? Actually, yeah, I think I did. I'd have to say I did. Now I record this in Photoshop. I don't like the look of those book ranking tools or tier ranking tools that you will see on so many other videos. I just think this looks a little more me and a little more cozy. Now, quite literally, I take each of these book covers and I cut them out from various sources. And sometimes I've already got the book covers saved from when I talked about them on Typical Books, but sometimes I go and I clip them from Amazon, or even Goodreads. So that is why some of them look a little small and blurry. From Below by Darcy Coates is the number 1. Katrina Ward, Last House on Needless Street, and there's another Katrina Ward coming. Andre Bierka's Lake of the Dead, reissued by Valancourt. Dog Meat by Priscilla Bettis, a novella. Sundial by Katrina Ward, it takes the number 5th position. Chuck Palahniuk's Consider This, which is a story in Palahniuk tradition, but a writing guide, so nonfiction. And Hunted by Darcy Coates. Darcy Coates also occupies the number 1 spot, so that's 2 for Darcy Coates. Mandy by Stephanie Sparks. I really love Stephanie Sparks' work. Well deserved. And Old Country, the surprise sleeper hit by Matt Query and Harrison Query. And to end it all, Slewfoot by Brahm. So yeah, 2 top authors, Katrina Ward and Darcy Coates. Wow. This is the top 10 for 2022. And even though I read less books, I'd have to say this is some high quality horror right here. High quality horror indeed. So those are my top 10 books of the year. And I really enjoyed having 2 authors with 2 different books, both being women. So this is Women in Horror Month. I suppose there's my celebration. So it's a good thing that I waited till February to do this video, right? No. I highly recommend Darcy Coates, period. This is just a little bit of a fan appreciation for Darcy Coates and Christina Meester and Katrina Ward. And Katrina Ward, very much so. And Katrina Ward, very much so. So these are my top authors of last year. Kind of a surprise to me. I thought it would be Richard Lehman and just Richard Lehman, right? But no. It's these 2 amazing authors with a runner-up of Stephanie Sparks, because I just really enjoy Stephanie Sparks' work. And we sort of have a little bit of North America and Australia represented, so across the globe, really, when you think of it that way. So I really like these picks. I hope that you do too. Most recently, you will see on Sin's Book Nook a review of Hunted, which was a really good review of Hunted. So if you want to hear more, check out other booktubers channels as well. And when I talked about these books previously throughout the last year as I read them. Thank you so much for watching. Apologies for the lateness of my reply. And I hope you enjoyed watching the ranking of all the books I read in 2022. What was your top book of last year? Let me know in the comments. Thank you again for watching, and have an spooky day.